And we are back again. Second podcast.
A few hands down, but
It has passed a couple times ago, and we're back together. Some of the group, Jose Rivas, Raul Rivas, and Alonso Meza together. How you guys been?
good, man. Good.
We decided we're not going to wait around for everybody else to
I
be
know,
here.
right?
Alrighty.
We lost a couple of
And
guys,
we're
but
And we're going to start off the podcast with a shot of whiskey.
Great.
Cheers.
Here come Ray. Cheers. Cheers, guy. We're watching the fight 9 UFC, and it's gonna fight. Who's the main card?
Travis Brown
Travis Brown.
and I can't remember who the other guy is. Let me see real quick. Hang on.
Yeah, guys.
Travis Brown and Lewis.
And Lewis. Alrighty. So, if you guys are into martial arts and MMA, we practice it in some form or another. Last time we did a fight, kind of
Fight follow
up with a football game, and you guys saw it was kind of crazy. The guys that saw the previous podcast. If you are new to this, I will thank you for watching, and if you like it, please subscribe to the channel. What we do mainly is just talk about anything that we have in mind.
Talk about anything and everything that comes up.
Yes, and anything that comes out to our mind. And
Every once in a while, I try to sound smart
Condescending.
in a condescending way. Inside joke.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
some
so-
of us are not here. So we are kind of a group of 5 people. So, but
Because
we're
some
trying
of
to
us
make
felt
a.
condescended too.
Yeah.
We're trying to gonna make the best of it in this.
Our buddy David moved to Texas.
Yeah, some
And,
of our good buddies.
And
He
our
will
brother
be missed.
Guillermo, our brother Guillermo's out of commission today. For some
Yeah.
reason. I don't know why. He never even replied to the invite,
Yeah. So
so we don't know what's up with him.
what's up, guys? What's new?
What's new? Let's see. It's a good
What
question.
were we talking about before we sat down?
Yeah, you said let's.
Oh, yeah,
I was like, save it for a moment.
Save it. Save the good stuff for
Yeah,
when
I forgot
we
what it
start
was were
recording.
talking about. Well, my kids started riding bike today, so that was cool. It was awesome, man. We practiced for like half an hour in the morning and then half an hour in the afternoon, and he had it. It was freaking cool.
It's so
man.
funny, kids. When you're a kid, you pick up stuff so easily.
Yeah.
It's like
I don't remember.
it's so good
I don't
for
remember
it.
it having been that easy for me to learn to ride a bike.
No.
I remember having it been. more
Yeah,
difficult.
I remember for me too. It was kind of I had a
When you
couple
have
crashes.
fins instead of legs.
No, yeah, I remember when I was a kid, I had a couple crashes on it, and like it felt like really hard, because I couldn't coordinate like braking and stopping, putting my foot down and things like that. So I had to crash sometimes. But once you get a couple of those, then you're like you
go
learn.
around enough times, or you fall enough times, you figure it out. But nah, dude, he fell a couple times. He scraped his knees a little bit, but he was good about it. Like he wasn't like. He didn't cry or anything. He got up. He did his thing. After maybe an hour total, he was riding pretty good. I mean, he'll still freaking smash into a mailbox or something, but
Yeah, he came pretty close.
Yeah, he came pretty close to smashing into a mailbox, but he did pretty good, man.
That's good.
Other than that, man, no, just.
I don't remember when I wrote. I don't remember learning. I remember one time. I think you were pushing me like in a little car, and like the bottom is open, and like my foot got caught.
Got stuck in the pedals or something like that?
No, I got caught like on the sidewalk, and then my knee scraped through. Like you were like still pushing, and then my knee was like scraping on the sidewalk. It was pretty bad.
Nice.
That was like I don't know. I must have been like 3.
What about with you, Alonso? What's up with you?
Something new. Let's see. Well, nothing new actually, but we have today. I had a great day. We went to the beach, and we had some nice moments on the beach. I love the beach. For
It's
me,
nice
that's
out
just a nice moment. I mean, especially if you live here in Miami. like how we do. We had some great beaches just to lay down and chill and have some nice fucking sun bath.
Just time to chill out. Huh?
Yeah, and especially now this time because it's a little cold. The water is cold,
I love
so the water
love this
it
time.
feels so good. You know.
It was hot as fuck outside though, man.
Yeah, but the water is cold. That's the cool
but it
thing
was,
about
right,
it.
right, right.
But it was pretty cloudy while we were out there. so
85
it
or
wasn't
something
even
like that outside.
Yeah.
It was pretty goddamn
What time?
hot.
What time were you out?
We were out maybe 11:30, and then we went out again like 4:30 or something like that. And it was just fucking hot as balls out there, dude. It's freaking the middle of February. And it's hot as shit outside.
there's a fight coming up. Is Paul Feely and
Felder.
Alessio. What is it? Alessio what?
Paul Felder and Alessandro Ricci.
Alessandro. I was saying Alessio.
I don't know
Sorry.
these guys, man, so I
Alessandro.
couldn't tell you anything about these guys. But
Yeah, me neither. I haven't seen this.
the Travis Brown fight should be pretty good. You know what's going on with him, Alonso, or no?
No. Tell me.
So I don't know if you knew, but I don't know if you know, but he's Ronda Rousey's boyfriend.
Yeah, I know that part.
Okay. So he was training out of Edmund Taverdian's camp.
Alrighty.
And so, Edmund Taverdian's had a lot of, controversy around him. Everybody's saying how bad a coach he is, and that Ronda should leave him because Ronda, got smashed
Yeah,
and stuff.
he's the coach of Ronda Rousey too, no?
Right,
I believe.
right. And
yeah.
but then Travis Brown was training there too. Apparently he left the camp for this fight. I don't know that he's completely separated himself from them, but yeah,
It would be.
he left and
What you
trained
know would
somewhere
be
else.
funny? It would be funny if this Travis Brown destroy.
Well, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think he's coming off of like 2 or 3 losses,
Oh wow.
having been in Taverdian's camp.
Yes.
So if he's in a different camp now and he comes out and he smashes this other dude, then that definitely puts a question mark on them. You know what I mean? So I think there's been a lot of
Yes.
shit been talked about Edmund's camp, and like Joe Rogan's talked about him, and he's like, that guy's full of shit, and there's a few guys that have talked about it.
I think it's a strategy that he has. It's like
Apparently he's not a very good coach. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't, like he was telling Ronda when she was fighting her last fight that she was doing good, that she was
Yeah, I
winning and this
remember
and
that.
and she got fucking smashed.
when he sat down in the corner, he was like, "Great." That's not something that you had to tell your fighter.
You gotta be realistic.
You had to be realistic.
You
It's
gotta
like
tell
you
them
had to
what's
push
going
it.
on. Yeah,
This is
freaking
a
get your head
round.
in
You
the
have to
game,
do it.
get your head out of your ass, and
Or give
do
him
what
some-
you're supposed to do.
Or give him some techniques. Or like, this is your mistake. This is what you're doing.
Motivate your
Like
fighter.
Ronda,
but-
you're fighting like crap.
well, motivate your fighter to tell them,
Yeah.
tell them what it is that they're doing wrong, and what to do to adjust. Not
Yeah,
tell them
like-
that they're doing fine. Or
I
that they're
remember
doing
when you
great.
when you took your last fight and you're like, you told me because I was in your corner. You told me if I'm doing anything wrong, tell me.
That's
I
what
want
I'm
you to
saying.
wake me up and tell me. No,
For
man,
me, it was like, if I'm not freaking doing what I'm supposed to be doing, fucking slap the shit out of me.
yes,
Tell me
yes,
to do
tell
it.
me to do it. You
Because
understand?
I need somebody to tell me.
Yeah.
I don't want people to be bullshitting me and telling me, listen, no, you're doing fine, whatever.
Yeah.
No, fucking be straight up and tell me. Tell me what's up. So yeah, I think that's huge. You gotta be. I mean, maybe not brutally honest.
Yeah.
With your athlete, but definitely let them know that they're not doing things correctly. Otherwise, it doesn't help. So, but anyway, no, the other thing that was new for me is me and the family went to see the Lego Batman movie last week.
Oh, how was it?
It was good, man. I liked
It's
it a
funny.
lot. It was funny as shit. It was funny as
Because the
fuck.
previous
pretty
make it
awesome.
sounds funny as hell.
It's pretty funny.
Even though it's a
basically,
kids movie, I'm like,
but you know what though?
So was Lego Movie.
Yeah, but a lot
It's
the
freaking
humor
hilarious.
is not stuff that kids would pick up on most of the time.
okay.
And a lot of it they make references to just about every Batman movie that's out there.
Oh, really?
Dating back to like the 1960s.
Including
So-
Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, everything really. And
Even Adam
it's-
West
Like
Batman?
Superman, you destroyed the
yeah,
entire city.
they go back to the Adam West Batman.
That's
and
awesome.
no spoilers or anything, but
The best.
it was dude. It was
The
there
best
was some
Batman.
really funny stuff to it, and it's basically the gist of it is that it's basically about Batman, obviously being badass and not thinking that he needs anybody, and then he's afraid of letting people in, because he's lost his own family. So then he finally toward the end, it's like him realizing that he does need people around him to help him out and so forth. but all the way that they go about it, you see like so many villains in the movie, like even like really obscure Batman villains are in it, and like even villains from other franchises that you're like, what the fuck are they doing in here? It was pretty damn funny, and then the way that they portray the Joker's relationship with Batman is almost like a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship.
That's funny.
It's hilarious. It's
That's
like
funny.
their dynamic is really really funny. Like
Funny.
like what is
like
it
a
about?
fighting married couple?
Yeah, like what is exactly like what is it about
fighting
Batman and the Joker that make them
You
each other's
complete me.
great? Yeah, exactly. That's exactly.
But that's what it is. At the end, that's
The
how
Joker-
the
like,
Joker
one of
can
the-
live without Batman, and Batman can live without the Joker.
And if you've seen the trailers,
Yes.
one of the lines in one of the trailers, like he's like, who else can you say is my is your greatest enemy? I'm like, who else makes you one up them as much as I do? And he's like, Superman. He's like, Superman's not even a bad guy. Like he tells him this line, and it's hysterical, man. It's funny as shit. Like Joker's really funny in it. So it was a good movie, man. I liked it a lot. You get a lot of it, and there's a lot of little references and again obscure things that only adults would pick up on, but it's funny as shit.
But
And the humor is very similar to the Lego movie.
yeah, and I think there's another
Like it's very
Lego-
snarky and
There's another Lego movie coming up that
Yeah, the
looks
Ninjago.
like it's again, Ninjago, and,
Yeah.
and again, it's the same way, it's the same kind of humor, it's the same kind of tone that people use.
right. And that one's, I think, like at least from what I saw in the trailer, it's like about daddy issues.
Yeah,
Like the one character has daddy issues because
Yeah.
the main bad guy is his dad.
so the dad is like he doesn't even give a crap.
Right, exactly.
So it's but here's
he
the
got a
thing.
TKO.
knockout.
Is this the guy that you were talking about? Like if he twitches camp?
No.
No,
That's the main
that's the main
fight.
event.
The main event. Yes.
Oh, okay. But here, let's go back to this whole issue of.
Give me a second. Who is this guy?
That was Paul Felder.
Paul Felder. He just
TKO'd.
TKO. Oh, he fucked up his leg, I think.
Wars.
Oh.
So yeah, I mean, what other Batman besides Adam West's Batman had shark repellent? I mean, like, really?
Well, you
shirt
didn't
with
like
that
the
shark
Dark Knight?
I'm just kidding.
That's not what he was
man.
getting. That's not what he was getting at.
Like, do you remember? I mean, I just. That movie was just so funny because of how incredibly absurd it was. It's like,
Oh, yes.
like really, he's got like
But you know
how,
what's-
But you know-
how do you,
but you-
how do you
but you know what?
How do you prepare? Like,
But-
why are you Batman and why are you prepared for a shark attack?
But you know what? There's there's a lot of fan base in the Adam West Batman.
Yeah, I mean,
But you know
that
what's
movie was
funny?
awesome.
You know what's funny?
It was
is that
hilarious.
and that movie actually has really good reviews. Like it's because it is what
it's
is.
supposed to be funny.
It's,
like,
it's goofy
wasn't-
like that.
It's
It was
goofy.
meant to be that way. It was goofy and campy,
Yeah.
and that's what it was. And then you take that and compare it to say Batman Begins, and it's completely different. You know what I mean? It's like, Batman Begins is very dark and very brooding, but it's very much set in reality. You know what I mean? Like it's something that's plausible in a way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not so fantastical, I guess.
I wonder if maybe George Clooney's Batman was supposed to be more like West's Batman. He was just misunderstood.
Like what? Like who's Batman? Like Adam West
George
Batman?
Clooney,
Yeah.
George Clooney, and Val Kilmer.
That was one of the worst
Yeah,
Batman.
right.
I think George Clooney seeing him. In
Which
that.
was worse, Val Kilmer or George Clooney?
Which one?
Or George Clooney. Yeah, I would
don't
say
know.
George Clooney, man. George
I don't
Clooney's pretty
know.
bad.
They're pretty tight.
You know,
Val
Val
Kilmer,
Kilmer. Like,
he's-
that was like. I think that was a little bit after doing Tombstone, and I was just like, Val Kilmer was so great in Tombstone.
Yeah, he was.
That seeing
I'll
him
be your
do
Huckleberry.
that, it was like, are you gotta be kidding me? I've got 2 guns, one for each of you.
Yeah, that's a great movie, man. I love Tombstone. He was
Yeah.
awesome in it.
And then they did Wyatt Earp. Kevin Costner did a Wyatt Earp like a year.
And it was around.
after,
Yeah,
a
it was.
year and a
No,
half
it was not
after.
even. It was maybe like 6 months after.
And
It was around the same time, and it was bad.
And it was like 3
was-
times as long, and it was like
It was terrible,
so
too.
boring.
Which one?
Wyatt Earp.
Wyatt Earp.
I don't know what
It was
movie
about Wyatt Earp. Tombstone was about the Earp brothers also, but Wyatt Earp with
I don't think I've never seen that
Kevin
movie.
Costner again. Yeah, with Wyatt Earp with Kevin Costner
Yeah,
was
yeah.
terrible.
Oh, yeah.
I saw it and it was bad. It was really bad.
You know they're doing The Crow again? The
Or
movie?
her.
You know what they should?
I was like,
I've never heard about
wow.
You know what they should remake? The Never-Ending Story.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what I was
something.
thinking about that also, but I've thought about that too. But it would ruin it for me. Because I loved the movie as a kid.
Yeah, as a kid.
I
Yeah.
think if somebody,
I remember watching that movie like almost every day during the summer when I was like 13 years old.
yeah, but I what I like is when these movies are remade and are remade like in a darker, like more adult kind of way.
Oh yeah.
But it's a kid's movie though. You can't do that with that movie. I mean, it was a dark movie even for a kid's movie.
Back in the
And
day,
there was
those
some
movies were.
traumatizing shit in that movie.
Yeah.
Fucking the damn horse Artax moving and dying in the fucking in the freaking
Why do you
what
have
was
to
it
talk about
in the
In
God,
the
what was the name of the
swamp,
place?
like
Yeah, the
fucking
swamp of sadness. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, man.
Like,
Any
was
of you
the
have
worst.
watched Stranger Things?
Yeah.
You watched it?
I saw it.
The complete season?
I saw it. Yeah, I liked it a lot.
So good.
I liked it a lot. Did you see the trailer for the new one?
Yes, of
it
course.
Looks cool.
I fucking-
Again, you brought another one? You're fucking.
I
I work hungover, man.
you gotta work tomorrow.
Yeah, are you crazy? This is my last one, dude.
All right.
So what happened?
No, I say something on Super Bowl. You remember? I said,
Oh, yeah,
finally, yes.
Yeah, the trailer.
Oh, so good.
It looks cool with the kids in the Ghostbusters costumes and.
That makes me wanna have a Ghostbuster costume because I'm like, I want one. I want to
yeah,
make
I like
one
that
of
show
the
a lot.
onesies.
Like the little references, you know, to like all the old school stuff was pretty cool. Winona Ryder's in it.
Yeah.
You haven't seen that show?
Not at
You
all.
have
You
to
gotta pick it
watch.
up. It's good.
I've been just watching mostly like
Anime.
mostly I've been watching anime.
This guy fucking watching anime.
I did find this show that's pretty cool on Hulu. That's what's it called? The Path. It's pretty interesting. It's like these people and they're in a cult, and so but it's like it's interesting because like the way they portray the show is like some of the like you feel like what they're experiencing is real, and at the same time it's like they're one of the main characters in the show is like he stops believing at some point, and then he like leaves the cult and all this stuff, and obviously everybody in the cult is like, this is not a cult, you know, like, so it's pretty interesting because
That's
like,
the first thing
you
that
see
anybody
things-
will tell you when they're
Yeah.
inside the cult.
Well, yeah, I mean,
that it's not a
but
cult.
you'll say the same thing if you're not in a cult too. So I mean, it's like, what can you do? But it's like somebody saying that they're not crazy, like, you know,
Yeah,
like.
they don't believe you.
But anyway, yeah, like you see what the people are doing that are in the cult, and like what they're experiencing, what they're going through, and they're like in the show, they're actually certain things are actually happening to them.
Yeah.
And so you're like you're kind of like living in this like the show is like in a reality where like this stuff like may actually be happening, you know. So it's pretty interesting, and at the same time they've got like how they deal like with the outside world, like the FBI is investigating them and all this stuff. So it's pretty cool.
That's nice.
But,
Damn, Jose.
I know. Tell me I mess over here. What else? What have you been watching, Alonso? Are you watching anything right now?
Yeah, I watched. I don't know if you guys watched this show called the OA or the OA. They call it OA.
The
I think I've heard
OA.
about
Yeah,
it.
I've heard of it. It's like
OA or OA.
artificial intelligence
No.
or something like that. No,
No, it's in.
What is it?
I think it's in Netflix.
I've seen it on Netflix. Yeah, but what is it about?
It's about. All right. It's weird. You will like it probably, bro. I don't know about
I've heard
you.
it's pretty good.
It's pretty good, but it's this girl that disappears. I don't know for how long. Disappears or somebody takes her, whatever. And she appears out of nowhere. She appears a few years later, and she appears in a bridge, and she throws herself out of the bridge. That's how the thing starts.
That's how it starts.
You know, it's like she throws it. But the issue is that the parents see her, and you know, in the news, it's like throw herself in the bridge. So the parents see her, and they go to the hospital, but they found out that she could see. The issue is that when she was a kid, she lost her sight,
Okay.
and now as an adult, she could see. So it's
They're still
like
trying to figure out how that
it's
happened.
how
or,
they
like,
happen,
how did
yeah.
that-
So the whole story of the whole thing is how she came this journey and to able to see and things like that. But it's pretty cool. It's a little weird, but it's cool. I liked it. I watched the whole thing. It's only like 8 or 10 episodes. It's not that long, but it's good.
I've heard Humans is really good. Have you seen Humans?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, I've seen like I think I saw like a preview, like a trailer for that. That seems pretty interesting.
I've been watching Vikings.
Oh, no.
Have
A
you
lot
seen
of people
Vikings
like
at all?
it.
It's good. It's a good show. I mean, I've read that it's fairly accurate, but the problem is that when talking about like Viking history, there's not a whole lot that's actually written down. It's all told through sagas and
Yes.
I guess like more word of mouth type thing. So there's not like real concrete stuff with it. So I think they take some liberties with it a little bit, but supposedly it's pretty accurate and it's a really good show, man. Like I wouldn't say it's like Game of Thrones because Game of Thrones is kind of fantastical and it's a different realm and so forth. So there's and there's dragons and magic and this and that. Where
So you're saying dragons are not real?
I hate to break it to you, man. But they're not.
I don't know if you know this, but the Bible says that there's gonna be dragons flying around in what city was it? There was some city that like is always gonna be inhabited by dragons.
Washington D.C. maybe.
That makes perfect sense. Because it doesn't matter who gets elected.
So yeah, it's not really like it's not really very like fantastical or anything like that. It's really more, I guess, grounded in history. Although there's a little bit of a mystical thing to it, but it's a good show, man. It's pretty cool. Like it's about certain characters and how they come to power and what they do and how they explored other lands and invaded England and Paris and these places. It's pretty cool.
What do you think about this fight?
Thompson and Woodley. I didn't see the first one, man.
You didn't see the first one?
No, I didn't see it. I know that.
I think I would.
I'm sorry, Woodley and Wonderboy Thompson.
Yeah, Wonderboy.
I didn't see it, man, but I heard it was a draw, right?
Yeah, it was a draw.
Go.
For me, I think Woodley won. Because he put the pressure on him.
I heard he had a couple of takedowns in the first couple of rounds.
Yeah, and he put the pressure on him, and probably he won slightly, just a little bit. And because he's the champ, you have to really put down the champ.
Give it to him.
And, give it to him. But I think it's a good idea to give him a rematch.
I mean, if it was a draw, I think it's. But see, like an instance like that, I do think that they should do that, where. Again, like Ronda Rousey, for instance, got destroyed against Holly Holm, and then she got an immediate match against the champ.
Oh, yeah.
I think she probably should have had maybe one or two more fights prior to fighting the champion, like build her way back up.
We already have talked about this, how
I know,
UFC does his fucking promotion.
It's a marketing. Yeah, it's a marketing thing. It's just, who can make the most money.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that should be a cool fight. I had read that, what's it called? Woodley had gotten a few takedowns, and then I think it might have been Joe Rogan that asked him, okay, so why didn't you go back to doing the takedowns, because you were being successful with them in the first few rounds?
Yeah, he answered he didn't know.
And he was like, I don't know why I didn't do it. Like he just had no, like I guess he maybe fell off of his game plan. I don't know. I'm not sure what happened.
I think that something has to do with your brain. It's like at the heat of the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
At the heat of the moment, it's like you think you're gonna do that, and you've done it for so long, but it forgets. It's like you just go off.
It's funny. We were watching. I think I told you. Well, I told you guys earlier that I was watching Pacific Rim with Joseph, with my youngest son. He's 6 years old, and we're watching it, and. One of the characters says something about, okay, we have to do this, in order to save everybody, and they have to basically sacrifice themselves. Yeah, in case you haven't seen Pacific Rim, it's only 7 years old.
Really? Are you serious?
So he has to sacrifice himself, and he's like, why would you do that? And I go, well, the commander's telling him, would you rather die building on the wall, or would you rather die fighting? You're gonna die either way. I'm like, sometimes you just gotta make the choice, and it's better to do something than do nothing.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So again, in the heat of the moment, you have to choose to do what you gotta do. But I don't know, man. Things change. Things change really quick when you're in the heat of battle. So I can feel where the game plan might have changed in his mind as he was going.
We have practiced so many years self-defense and jiu-jitsu and things like that, and martial arts, and we train sometimes for that moment of or danger or something
you
will
don't know what
happen.
the moment
and
it happens, you don't know what the fuck is gonna happen.
Even though you train so much, remember it was like
all that shit goes out the window.
yes,
The moment somebody pulls a knife on you, or the moment somebody pulls a gun on you, you're like, what the fuck?
Well, that's why it's important to train your mind too.
Oh yes,
of course.
That's why a lot of people.
But that I mean, the idea is that you're trying to be as realistic as possible in doing what you do, but nothing prepares you for that, man.
Well, no, I mean, I think here's the thing though is I think that like a lot of the people who, like in ancient times, really like this was their way of life. They understood that, like they understood what you're talking about, and so they trained. Also, like they meditated to calm their mind so they can be calm in like literally in a situation.
Yeah,
right.
So that when things came up and you don't know, like you don't know what's gonna happen, this and that, like you could still be like steady. And then all the training that comes from actual like all the physical training,
right,
like will make that much of a difference.
Well, our training partner Jesus had made that comment about Alonso, because Alonso tends to be very, very relaxed.
Yeah.
When he's sparring, and like I mean, obviously you can make your own comment, but my perception of it is that you've done jiu-jitsu, you've done Brazilian jiu-jitsu before, and I think a lot of it comes from that too, because you kind of have to in a situation like that, even though it's a completely different martial art from Muay Thai, going from Brazilian jiu-jitsu to Muay Thai, it's a completely different martial art, but you still have to stay relaxed.
Yes.
Because again, if you're tense or if you're tight, you expend a lot of energy just being that tense, and you get tired more quickly.
Of course.
So you try to be as efficient as you can in your movements and in your technique, where I think to some extent that probably carried over to when you spar in Muay Thai, where you're very relaxed and very chill.
Yeah.
And you don't really get rattled very much. Even like if you get hit or whatever, you don't really get very tensed up. You just
it happens a lot to a lot of people when they get hit.
Right.
And their reaction is just to respond and things like that. Be very hard on it.
Right.
And they made a mistake.
They want to retaliate.
Yeah,
That's
and they made a mistake.
It's like you hit me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking get you back.
Yes.
So then they get like that, where they let that emotion
Yeah, and you know what? I read this thing. I was reading this thing that on a paper of jiu-jitsu on like how to roll and things like that. People how they roll and things like that. And a lot of people like the big guys or like the bigger names, the bigger names in jiu-jitsu, when they are so relaxed too, but they when they're practicing or they're rolling with other people, they want to be happy and they want to be joking kind of, it's like they don't want, and because when you hit me sometimes I just laugh about it, and I don't know if you've ever seen it, how I laugh,
like I said,
I smile, and like I know I made a mistake.
For you, it's like, okay, you got me. Okay, now I'm gonna try to see what I can do to get around it, or again, like the way that you and I look at it. And I think part of it is because we've been doing it for a long time. Is that we look at it as, okay, you got me. Like I gotta see what it is I gotta do to not let that happen again. You know what I mean? And again, it's a learning experience where a lot of people, when they find themselves in that situation, they're like, shit, I'm getting beat up, or I'm getting fucking hit, I gotta hit them back, or
and that happens with experience too, It's like that happens with experience.
So I think that has a lot to do with it, you know what I mean? So it's just funny that kind of came up, and we were like, he was like, how does he do that? I'm like, that's just Alonso. Alonso's just a very chill guy. He's like, he doesn't let it get to him, you know what I mean? Yeah. And he's like, yeah, and he's very chill, but when he hits you, you like feel it. And I'm like, yeah, because again, you might be relaxed in the moment, but then when you go to execute your technique or your combination or whatever, that's when you have to explode.
Yes.
You have to assert yourself.
Yeah.
So it's just you have to be relaxed in the moment, but then you got to know when to
explode.
Act.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting that.
Yeah, and the thing that Raul was saying that all these techniques of how we develop our body and calming down.
Right.
Like all these techniques have already been there, out there many years ago, and it's just to learn it.
Right.
Like again.
And it's an expression. A lot of martial artists talk about it being, an expression of your personality. How you the way your martial art, even though you might be learning from somebody, or somebody's your teacher and their style and this and that, in the end it becomes your own expression of whatever you've been taught. So the way that you express it is different than the way he expresses it, and I or whoever's, so regardless of who you learn it from. So anyway, Sarah McMahon just won by like a nasty knockout. I think I didn't see
Really?
it.
I didn't see it.
It was quick.
Oh Jesus!
I wasn't
Let me
even paying
see.
attention. Let's see what happened.
Move for the fight. All right.
Fucking body slam.
Oh, she fell on top of her. So it's like,
Does she have a head and arm there?
I don't know. To tell you the truth, I think she fell on her arm. What else?
She has a head and arm triangle right there.
Okay.
Is that what she got?
Yeah, that's
she
what
got
she
it
got
right
it.
away. That was easy. She just fell into it.
Yeah. Oh man.
She didn't even fight it.
She didn't even fight it. She was just waiting for it. All right.
So I mean, I think. So my point. I think it comes from personal experience, because you guys know I meditate a lot. I practice a lot of yoga, and compared to like how much Muay Thai and Jiu Jitsu, like I've barely done any Jiu Jitsu.
Yeah,
but
that's
how compared to how much Muay Thai, and I think, and I know that like if I didn't take that time to really like try to do all the things that I do to and meditation, there's a lot of different techniques for that too, and,
right.
and a lot of different intentions that you can have to achieve a result.
Right.
And without those things, I wouldn't make nearly as much progress as I have in the amount of time that I've been practicing Muay Thai.
It's funny because I like, as you bring it up, as you're talking about like yoga and and how you practice it, and it's a way of meditation and this and that, as different as they are, again, you're talking about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or Muay Thai or yoga or Tai Chi or all those different things. I mean, yeah, maybe you're comparing a martial art versus a form of meditation and exercise, but to be honest, I mean, the way I look at it is they all kind of have the same goal to some extent. You know what I mean? Like they have a common goal. Like for me, I do Muay Thai, and yeah, it's a martial art, but it's a way, for me, it's a way of meditating also. It's a way of de-stressing, and it's a way of finding out more about yourself as well. Again, they're very different in their approach, and then obviously their methodology and in their application and what the purpose of it is for some, for the most part. But again, the idea is that you learn from your experiences and what you're doing. And again, for me, it's almost a way of meditation too, and it's a very introspective thing, in the sense that every time I'm doing what I'm doing, I learn a little bit more about myself. You know what I mean? Same thing with yoga, or when you do Tai Chi, or a number of different disciplines and things that you can look at, and again, they're very differing in a lot of ways. Or cycling or running, again, they're ways of exercise, but at the same time, when you're running or when you're cycling, you kind of get yourself into a mindset of, okay, I'm engaging this activity, but you get yourself in your zone. And I feel like, to some extent, the goal is kind of the same. It's a way of meditating and about finding out about yourself,
You know what? It's funny because when I go out running, and I'm not running for me is like, I take my mind out of everything.
Yeah,
I like my mind goes just
blank.
Or, I don't worry about anything. It's like, and I'm
you're
just
in the
running,
moment.
and
You're
I'm
in the moment.
Because I'm just in the moment. I'm just breathing. I'm concentrating on my breathing, and I feel my aches and pains on my body,
rhythm,
like my rhythm, and just going, and that lasts for like, I don't know, an hour, I guess. Let's see, it's like, and I'm just out of it.
Right.
And it's funny, like for me, that's a way of take out the release. Oh, I'm going running.
It's a
like,
de-stressor.
Yeah, it's de-stressor for it.
It's kind of a way of meditating to some extent. It's like, you could be out there and just think about what you want to think about and not worry about anything else. You know? So.
And I actually, that's funny because I don't know who was saying this, but they were saying something about when you are pushing your body through to those type exercises,
those limits.
exercises on the limits and things like that. That's the moment that you are like feeling right at the present. You can
Right.
it's like you're not aware of nothing else bothers, just that moment.
Right.
So that's why a lot of people are so addicted to like extreme sports,
Yeah.
because extreme sports makes you be at the moment.
Right.
Like
Well, you get that adrenaline.
See,
yeah,
rush,
the
too.
adrenaline thing.
And here's the thing is that part part of the reason for me that doesn't happen very often at all.
Really?
For me, meditation is like yeah, that's the goal, is to learn to be like in the moment all the time. And the thing of it is, it's like it's a real like challenge for me.
Yeah. Like you feel like you have to
and-
make it an active thing.
Well, that doesn't work. I mean, the thing of it is that trying to clear your mind is like another way in which you're filling your mind.
Right.
And
Like you feel-
the thing of it is that for me, and I think this is one of the symptoms that for me I experience because of depression, is that like, and a lot of conditions have this, is where like that overactive mind. And so one of the things that people do to treat it, and to treat things like PTSD, and anxiety and things like that, is to practice that, to get to be able to experience moments like that. Because
Right.
like you talk about like when you run and you feel like that, or you talk about like when you're doing Muay Thai and you feel like that, and it's like, man, like that doesn't work for me.
That's
You know what? But
And-
maybe it's a matter of finding what does it
Well,
for you.
here's the thing, is that like, that's what I was gonna say, is that I think probably the only time that like it really felt effortless to be in that zone was like when I was on a motorcycle.
Okay.
Because
And
it's
and
adrenaline.
and it's
Right,
pretty
but
ex-
That's what I
Again,
told you.
yeah, and it's pretty extreme. It's like
Yeah.
you don't have a choice, because like
You have to be in
and-
the
and it's-
present
and
moment
it's kinda
to
funny.
pay attention to everything.
But it has
It's-
to do
it's
with
kinda
finding
funny,
that thing, because it's different for everybody.
Yes.
well, but that's the whole thing, is that like, whether I had, even if I had a motorcycle right now, it's like the goal is like really to be that at every moment. I'm not gonna live my life on a motorcycle,
Right.
Of
you know,
course.
even if I own a motorcycle. You know,
But- but
the
you know
idea
what-
is you take that into into
But
every
you know what?
aspect of
You
your
know
life.
what too though is like you engage in that activity and it carries over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
absolutely.
So, like to give you an example, you know, we had our session on Thursday. You know, we sparred and we had our session, and you know, the next day I was achy and sore, and like, you know, my wrist was bothering me, and you know, I freaking had scratches all over me and shit like that. And but I was like, like the next day I was like, man, I feel really fucking good. Like I felt good. I just
Yeah.
felt good. Like it was
Yeah.
just one of those things where like it was, you know. I had a good session, you know, and it's funny because like a lot of times when you go to sleep late and you wake up early, you know, maybe you don't rest as much or whatever, and a lot of times, you know, you drag when it's like that. But I felt really good that day. Like this was Friday during the day. I was at work all day, you know, I would work from 7 to whatever, 6:30 in the afternoon or whatever it was. And, you know, I had a really long day, but it went well and I felt good. So again, you know, I felt that way during our Muay Thai session, but it carried over.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, you know, again, I you know, hopefully at some point you'll find something that does that for you. But I think it's
and-
different for everybody, and it's just a matter of, you know, hopefully finding that at some point where it does it for you and it carries over into your regular life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's not like I never experienced it like with
Right.
other things. Definitely,
But it's something you
like,
want to be long lasting.
yeah. I mean, definitely, like after reading, like after listening to The Power of Now, like I had 2 weeks where I was just like I'm fucking this. This
Like that was
bliss.
cool.
This yeah, it was like I felt like really enlightened after doing. You know, I talked to you guys about Lamar. I did the Lamar form. I felt like that for like a couple months.
Right.
And it's like really just like amazing. And the thing of it is that part of it is just being healthy.
Right.
Part of it is just being healthy and just like taking care of yourself, because everything is connected. Like,
Of course,
mind,
everything is
body.
connected. Like, if your body is healthy, That's pretty much everything. Like everything functions like a little machine inside of us.
And that's why yoga is so important to me, because
And you complement it with yoga. And,
it's so good for your spine, and
I wish I
so
had more time to
therefore
do
it's
it,
so good
man.
for your nervous system, and
Right.
it's
Yeah.
like what's good for your nervous system is good for your brain, and then you have this connection, like
everything is
like
connected.
and then you're just so much more aware of yourself and your body. Like I notice it like when I'm working, like when I'm working, like most recently, like with my dad, like just moving around in spaces where we're like working, like if we're in a tight space, and just like the way I move around in the
Right.
space with my body, it's like it's this whole different like I'm literally moving through life in a smoother way, you know. It's really
It's
really
great,
awesome.
man.
Yeah, so and the thing of it is just like just keep like having that discipline to keep going every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you guys were asking about like what's new earlier, and I guess in the spirit of like February, I have been talking to somebody.
Oh,
Like,
nice.
Oh, that's
like,
cool.
I told you about her earlier.
Oh yeah, you told me about
Yeah,
it.
That's
yeah.
good.
Like yeah, she's like she lives in Orlando, but like we
You know what they say,
really
amor de lejos.
Felices los cuatro.
You've heard that saying, man.
what is it?
Amor de lejos para los pendejos.
Yeah. Well, you guys know I never like living here anyway, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna be moving anytime soon.
Yeah,
But
of course.
it's
How
just
did you-
like something that like that it's really it's been really awesome. We've been talking a lot on the phone, and she's
How'd you meet this person?
just the way we communicate. I met her. Well, she's in the same program. That
Oh,
I'm in,
okay, same
in
program.
the
Oh,
introduction leaders program in Landmark.
that's good.
I got you.
And so she's
So you just got into that to hook up with somebody.
pretty much, yeah.
Pretty
Okay.
much.
I've actually been making
It's because
jokes
there's some lonely people there, so they're like, oh,
Yeah.
shit,
It's a really
lonely.
good dating way. It's a
it's
really
a
good
really
way
good
of
way to
dating
find-
people.
It's a dating community.
Yeah.
Yes.
The dating community. Yeah.
No, actually, it's hard. To tell you the truth, if we're gonna talk about relationships, it's hard to find somebody. Like, I haven't had a relationship with anybody for the past, I don't know, couple years. You know, it's like, and it's hard, especially once you get older, because once you get older, you get a little picky. You know, it's like you tend to hesitate to be or share something with somebody. You know,
Right.
it's like, yeah, you could have you fun with somebody else here and there. You know, go out with somebody one day or other person another day, but to
Right.
have a really relationship with somebody is a little difficult.
Right.
Once you get a little older, I believe so.
I mean, anyway, you were gonna say something?
No, I mean, well, you're like, you're like,
I
you know where to find
I
it.
killed it.
No, I was gonna say like, well, you know, this is the dating place, or like, you know,
Nah.
no, it just it's really cool, because like you're talking about people who about like who is willing to open. That's like you're gonna find people like that who are
Yeah.
who are that like that's one of the biggest things is like out of participating in like Landmark Forum and in the seminars and stuff like that, is just people just open up.
Right.
People just open up, and it's like they live a completely different life where they just like what you're talking about is like not an issue anymore. You know, so it's really cool. It's really an awesome experience.
I mean, I've been married for 2004, 13 years now,
Goddamn.
going on 14. So you know, I mean, I've been married for a long time. So obviously, you know, for me to make an observation on it is maybe a little bit off. But at least what I see is that the problem, or not a problem, but I think what makes it maybe difficult for you guys at this stage is that you're at a stage where, okay, so you're 37,
36.
so you're 36. You're 36. No, you're
Yeah.
30. You're gonna be 37.
Yeah, we're both turning 37 this year.
So you're both 36. I'm gonna be 40. Fucking gonna be 40.
I don't know if we're still
Fuck me.
Tauruses according to you,
I know,
like
right?
where that might have changed.
Well, we'll get into that. We'll talk. Hold that thought.
Is it Tauruses or
Hold
Tauri?
Tauri?
Tauruses.
Tauruses. Anyway, so at least from what I can observe, from the outset, being married and not being in that scene, but my take on it is that, okay, so you're in your 30s, when you're dating somebody at this stage, they either already have kids,
Yep.
or they're in a hurry to have kids. You know what I mean? So I think it's very difficult to be in that stage, because if you're not looking to have kids, it's a deal breaker for a lot of women at that stage. So
fortunately, we already got that covered. Like we already had that conversation.
I know, but I just think that, like, for our brother Guillermo, I think that's a bit of an issue too, because I don't know if Guillermo would ever want to have kids or not, but again, I think that makes it difficult for guys in your age and in that age group, because again, either a woman has already had kids, or maybe they've been in a relationship and they've already had kids, so you're gonna date somebody who has kids, or you're gonna date somebody who's in a hurry to have kids.
And we're not saying there's nothing wrong with somebody who has kids and things like that. But
it depends on what you're.
Yes, it depends what you're looking
for.
And yes, in this stage you have the range of dating somebody who could start, like, let's see, in a blank sheet, or like both of them passing through the same experience together, because you haven't had them. It's like very narrow.
Right.
It's like very narrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So I can see where it's tough for people, man. Again, in this age, or at that age,
and technology too. Technology hasn't helped at all in any of these issues, because technology has made us feel a little less less emotional.
The problem that I see with technology, for instance, like with Facebook or Skype or those kinds of things, is that you're more connected with people who are distant.
Yeah.
But you're not as connected with the people that are immediately around you.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? So I think.
But what I'm saying is that technology has changed the game on it, because dating somebody like me, like a lot of people are used to like dating apps or Tinder or things like that. I don't use any of those things. I don't use any of those because I don't know. I guess I'm old school. I wasn't born in that era.
Right.
It's
more commonplace for millennials.
Yeah. So yes, I have a friend who's around 26. And he's like, he used those apps and like, oh yes, I'll go out every fucking. It's like, really? It's like this guy. Yeah, it's super easy for him. And like for me, it's like, nope. But, and if you meet somebody in the street and you say, hey, what's up? Most of the people think you're a creep.
Like, why are you saying hi?
Why are you saying hi to me?
Are you having like a conversation?
They will start tweeting up, this weird dude behind me say hi to me.
Well, I mean, here's one thing that, like, when you mentioned about that, about children. I remember seeing something about this, so I just looked it up, and according to Reuters, they're citing a Pew.
That more women
Pew
are
Research,
not.
something that Pew Research Center did some I guess polls on, and there's definitely like a lot more women who are choosing not to have children now than ever.
Now, what's the reason? Tell me what the reason is, so that I can tell you what I've read.
What it says is more American women are choosing not to have children than 3 decades ago, according to a new report. Nearly 20% of older women do not have children.
What do you mean by older?
It doesn't say. But I mean, and we could probably like do some more research on this, but I think overall there's probably like a lot more people in general who are just getting more conscious of the fact that like we take up a lot of resources, we pollute a lot, and
that's exactly what I was gonna get at, and that's what I've read too.
Yeah,
and just like really like I mean, one of the things that I remember when I was younger thinking about was like looking around at the world and just like having a really, really bleak outlook and just thinking like, do I really want to bring a child into this?
But you know what? It's like, definitely one of those things that's come to mind for me more recently too, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead and make your point.
But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean, I think that's something that like I don't think necessarily like I haven't been like, oh, maybe I should like change my mind about it. Obviously I can't really change. Like it takes something. It's gonna.
The
take
issue
a lot
is, and I tell
for
you
me to-
what it is. The issue was is because when we will have, and I think I talked to you about this 2 years ago or 3 years ago, the population in Earth was I don't know how many billions, and now
It's blown up.
It's blown up completely.
Well, I
But
think
let
that
me-
has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, it has
exactly.
to. It has to do too because now people are living longer. We have a longer time lifespan than before, and before was because before we had so many wars. We fight for everything,
Yeah.
and people didn't last that long. And the only
medicine.
thing that we had,
medical-
the only thing that we
medical,
have was
advances
make
were-
kids, and family will have kids like crazy.
Right.
Like we'll have 8, 10 kids. You know, that was common. That was normal because you know your kids will die. Let's see.
It's like you're having spare kids, basically.
No, but I'm
'cause,
saying-
if your-
but what I'm
if your
saying-
older kids
Basically, yeah.
die,
Yeah, but what I'm
I got
saying-
3 to spare.
Look, in my family,
kids used to be a commodity.
in my
Right.
yes, in my family it was funny because my mom comes from a big family and they have 9 kids,
Fuck, man.
but 9 kids that were alive. They died 3 before them.
So it was 12 kids.
Yeah, but those were miscarriage. I'm saying, but out of those 9 kids, I think some of them didn't even pass to be 60,
Wow.
and they die. So you know that's funny. Back in the day, having kids was normal. But now technology,
There was no
we
TV, so they had nothing
evolved.
better to
Yeah, we did that too.
They had nothing better to do.
Well,
But
and some people
now
see
we
it as
have-
irresponsible now to have that many killer
Right.
kids.
Of course, I believe it's a little
because then you're
irresponsible. Come on.
because like back to the point that you were making is that and I've read this as well, is that I think people are becoming more conscious of the fact that with as many people as there are in the world, we're just eating up through our resources like this. So what's going to happen if you have 2, 3, 4 kids? I mean, what's going to be left in 20, 30, 40, 50 years or whatever it is? You know what I mean? We're just going to eat up through everything. And I mean, you're running out, again, you're running out of space, you're running out of land, you're running out of, food, water, clean water, clean air. I mean, all these things, man. So I think people are becoming more conscious of it.
I don't even think that would really be a problem if we just really like took a step back and recognized that we don't need to consume nearly as much as we do.
No, true. I mean, I think our
course.
society, especially, and not especially, but I mean, I think
No,
a lot of
but
societies.
the issue is that not everybody can think that way,
Right.
and some of us can. Let's see, you that have a house that has a yard could plant some vegetables and grow up your own,
Right.
and consume your own stuff and things
Yeah,
like that.
a little bit.
Here and there, but not everybody has that privilege.
Right.
Like me, I live in an apartment.
Yeah, so it's not like you can do that.
I can do that.
Yeah, but here's the thing is, and I'm not saying that this is something that like people with yards like are responsible for or obliged to do, but one thing to think about is that like if you are willing to do that and you have the ability to do that, then you're actually taking demand out of the market.
Yeah.
And enough people do that, and it
So you're
lowers
hurting the
prices
economy.
for.
You're hurting the economy too.
No, not necessarily hurting. I mean, here's the thing: is like there's a lot of people who have, who don't have access, or don't have the funds. Like the price is too high to get good quality food at the supermarkets.
Yeah,
And so they'll buy processed shit. They'll buy like snacks just because it's cheap.
It sucks
And so
that
if you have enough people like growing their own food, then the prices at the market will go down, and
Right.
then those people will be able to afford it more.
it sucks to like for instance, I mean, Lori is definitely more conscious. My wife, she's very much more conscious about buying like organic food than I am, because like for me it's like I would just buy the cheaper shit. You know what I mean? Like I probably wouldn't think about it twice. But I mean, she's very conscious of it, and she wants the kids to grow up healthy and this and that, and not just obviously not just for the kids, but in general. I mean, buying organic is also better for the environment and so forth. But dude, I mean, it's so much more expensive.
Yeah, of course.
But
you could afford it. Imagine somebody who can afford it.
But that's what I'm saying is we're lucky that we
Here's
can.
one thing I noticed though. One thing I noticed when I was like really paying attention to that and really buying, just like really being strict about staying away from
Processed foods.
processed foods, buying organic, especially like non-GMOs. I didn't have to eat as much.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like
really
you felt like you were more nourished by it?
exactly.
I don't know, man.
All these foods, they're not only do they have like a diminished nutritional value,
They have an
but like
addictive value to.
yeah.
Are you talking about like
Well,
if you're talking
no,
about
no.
sugars and stuff like that, like refined stuff?
That
Yeah, maybe.
that too, but like and then there's also the extra, and not that organic foods don't have like, you know, pesticides. Also, they just have
They
different
do
kind of
just
pesticides.
yeah. Well, again, it's a
But
much
it-
more
it's-
a smaller.
It's something that
percentage,
your
too.
body has to deal with now. Like your body has to deal with something like your body has to spend more energy now, and it's more bogged down because of all the toxins that you're taking in.
What I was gonna say is I mean, again, as lucky and as lucky as I am and my wife are to be able to, buy healthy organic stuff or again non-GMO and this and that. I mean, it's crazy how expensive it is, man.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Well,
we
that's
go,
the
we
thing.
go
If
and
you eat
buy.
less, you don't. It's not as expensive. And
Well,
then,
but
and
the
then,
thing is
like,
that we consume probably just as much. But the thing is
Part
that,
of
like,
it is
for instance,
getting
we
used to it, yeah.
maybe so. But like, for instance, the other day I went to the grocery store, and like for me, again, if you give me a list of things to get, I'll get what's on the list. I don't really care necessarily so much as far as what's organic or not. And maybe that's just because I'm trying to be practical from the economical standpoint. So, when I look at it, like I go and see, what was it, 2 packages of strawberries for $5, and then the organic strawberries are 1 package for $7.
Yeah.
I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm just like, holy shit! It's
Just
like
get it
it's
from
so
here,
much-
from Candiceberry.
But that doesn't mean
That's
that
why
that's organic, though. Just because it's grown
But that's
out
why you
here.
start. That's why you start doing it in the backyard.
Well, but the thing now, the problem with that is that Lori buys 2 plants of strawberries, so we get 3 strawberries. When they're ready, it's like, okay, split 3 strawberries between 4 people. It's kind of like slicing strawberries, like we're like rationing strawberries and shit. No, I mean it's cool that she does that sometimes, but obviously you need to produce it on a larger scale than
Right.
than just that. So again, I can see where it's very difficult for people to get away from that because it's just so much more.
Of
expensive.
course, man. Of course.
It's
I mean,
crazy.
it definitely takes
If you
something,
see,
but,
have you
like-
ever seen the dollar menu?
But
Come
it-
on, dude.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's
but the thing
ridiculous.
is, like, you end up paying. The thing that a lot of people don't really think about is that you end up paying for that when you get sick and when you're gonna end up
but
having
the
to
thing
buy
is
all
that,
these prescriptions.
but that's something
and-
that's a possibility in the future where if you're a struggling family, trying to feed your kids right now, you're not gonna think about that, man. You're gonna go to McDonald's and get the dollar menu shit because that's all you can afford.
Sure.
So it's very difficult to push
trying
away
to make
from that.
I'm not trying to like make a judgment on people who don't eat organics or don't eat like healthy or anything. Like,
Right.
I get like why it happens. It's just it's really like it ends up it does really end up costing you more at the end. And if you eat organics for long enough, you'll start seeing that your appetite is not what it used to be, and it's not
Maybe.
because of a bad thing. It's
I'm
because you're
waiting-
just more nourished.
I'm waiting for that because I'm fucking hungry
Well,
all
you're
the
just
time.
a fat.
Fucking hungry.
But you know
all
I
what?
feel like
Because
all
you
I
eat
do
too
is fucking
much
eat.
sugar.
No, I've cut back. I've cut back.
Good. Good.
Yeah, no, it's true though. I was eating a lot of sugar for a long time.
Yeah, and
I was burning it off, but I definitely was eating too
but the
much.
thing is, like your blood sugar comes up, and then it's like as soon as it comes down, you feel hungry.
Yeah, I felt like I was
That's the whole
hungry all the
thing
time.
about
Like I felt like all I needed to do was fucking.
I want to make a note. This fight.
been a good fight.
These 2 guys. How much is the weight? What
These
weight
guys are
class is it?
205, I think.
205.
I met this Ferreira, Cesar
Okay.
Ferreira. He works out of MMA Masters here in Doral.
Oh, nice.
And I'm a physical therapist. I was treating there for a little while, and I met him there. That guy's a fucking beast. Those guys are cool, man. But yeah, he's a strong jiu-jitsu guy. I think he's from Brazil. But yeah, that guy's
But
gigantic.
they look.
It's a good fight.
He looks huge.
He is huge, man. That dude's gigantic. He probably walks around at like 230.
But yeah, I bet you 230, bro.
Yeah.
But 205.
And
Wow,
I think
these
they're
two
at
guys look-
205.
These guys are beasts.
Yeah, this is Cesar Mutante. They call him Mutante Ferreira. And Theodoro. I don't know who Theodoro is. I've never seen him before.
Yeah, me neither. But he's just pretty good, man.
But
he's hanging there, and he has a
shout out.
He has escaped to the guillotine twice or 3 times already.
Shout out to Master Canedo and Master Valverde over at MMA Masters. Yeah, those guys are cool.
Cool, man. Yeah, it's nice to see that you know a couple of these people in the UFC.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, man. It's interesting. I've seen him. Who else did I see that was over there? Ricardo. What was his last name, dude? The Pitbull.
No.
Fuck, I forgot his last name. I was gonna say Ricardo Montalvan for a second, but that's not him. that was the guy from fucking Fantasy Island and shit. Anyway, yeah, I met a couple of guys over there that were pretty cool. You know, they were pretty down to earth guys, and there were a couple of guys that were in the UFC. It was pretty cool. Anybody seen any good movies or read any comics lately?
You know what I saw that they're gonna do the show from Anne Rice, I think.
Anne Rice? And Frank is somebody completely different.
No, Anne Rice.
Anne Rice, the vampire.
Yeah,
the vampire lady.
It has this reading all these vampire things.
Yeah, Interview with the Vampire.
I read that they're gonna do a series out of that.
Really? Out of Interview with the Vampire?
No, out of the whole books.
Okay.
You know, I think all of the books are like attached one way or another.
Well, you know who knows a lot about that shit?
Yeah,
John.
Yeah.
John read a lot of them. I read Interview with the Vampire, and I want to say I started reading The Vampire Lestat, but I don't think I ever finished it.
Yeah. So.
And there's another The Tale of the Body Thief is another one. There's a few others.
Yeah. So I read that they're gonna do a series out of it. I don't know if it's. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on this. I don't think it's. I think it's HBO, but I'm not sure. But probably if it's HBO,
that should be
good. That
then.
should be good.
Do any of you guys watch Westworld?
Yes.
Have you seen Westworld? You've seen the whole thing or no?
Yeah.
It's good.
I love it. It's really integrated. I like. Like towards the mid-season,
It slows
the
down.
mid-season is finally you start to understanding what is happening because they show you like different timelines and you're at the
first. It's all set up. First.
It's all a setup to. And the first episodes you're like, what the hell's going on?
Right. I only saw the first episode and
but it's really good.
The problem with me watching shows is that if my wife doesn't like the shows, I end up not watching them. So it sucks because I end up dropping off. We watched the first season of Daredevil, and she lost interest in it, so I haven't watched Daredevil yet. I haven't watched the second season of Daredevil yet.
Wow.
I haven't finished watching I haven't finished watching Jessica Jones yet.
You're missing out.
I haven't watched Luke Cage.
I didn't think
you're missing out.
I didn't enjoy it.
You didn't like Jessica Jones?
It was alright. I mean, the end of it was ridiculous. I was like, are you freaking serious? Are you serious? This is how she...
Don't say it.
Don't say it, man. Don't ruin it for me. Because I may
really,
still watch
you
it someday.
You couldn't come up with something better than this.
I finally read The Killing Joke. You read The Killing Joke. We had that conversation on text at the end.
Yeah.
Have you read that, Raul?
No.
It's a graphic novel. It's about the Joker and Batman.
I've heard you guys talk about it before.
Yeah. Anyway, you haven't read it, so I'm not gonna spoil it for you. But the ending is very kind of ambiguous, and it kind of leaves it up to the reader's interpretation.
You texted about it.
Yeah, whether or not the Joker gets killed by Batman or not, I don't think so. I didn't get that vibe from it. I don't know if you got that vibe from it.
No, I don't think so.
That might have been the first time he killed somebody.
No, it hasn't been the first time. He has killed already.
Well, but the thing is that the way that the book was written. So this was written by Alan Moore, who wrote Watchmen, and he wrote V for Vendetta. So it's a really cool graphic novel. The way that it was written, and at least from what I read in the preface and a couple of other things about it, is that it's meant to be like the final Batman story. Mm-hmm. Like that's kind of the way I guess it's supposed to end. Obviously, it never did because it continued on from there.
Right.
But the final panel kind of shows him grabbing the Joker and a lot of people kind of interpret it as he grabs Joker by the neck and breaks his neck and kills him.
Is there like a crack sound? Like
No, there's not. It just stops and there's no more laugh. So it kind of leaves it up to your interpretation. But the way that when I saw the panel, it just kind of looks like he's grabbing him by the shoulders. Like his hands aren't really like on his neck. Mm-hmm. So I didn't get that from it. I didn't think that that's what happened. I think that they maybe come to like a mutual understanding as to why they are who they are. You know what I mean?
You complete me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and it goes back to the whole Lego Batman movie thing.
Yes.
Is that again they do complete each other. Like without the Joker, there's no Batman, and without
it's like
Batman,
the yin
there's no
and the
Joker.
yang,
Like they
Yeah.
exactly they the Joker does this because he knows that Batman's gonna be there to try to stop him.
Oh wow, a neck crack on it.
You know what I mean?
On it. Oh, that's painful. Oh, the jaw.
he defended it.
He has to get out.
I thought it was
So
pretty funny
anyway.
when they first announced Batman versus Superman. People were like,
Why is he fighting Superman?
"Why would that ever happen?"
Like, obviously, they don't read the comic books.
Yes.
Um,
They have fought a couple times.
Yeah, they fought a
already,
few times.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, Guillermo got Joseph a comic book that has like all the best, Superman versus Batman moments or whatever. It's pretty cool. Like it's got one that was more recent where Batman fights Superman because he's under poison. Superman's under Poison Ivy's control.
Yeah, I saw
So that one's pretty cool. And then it also gets into like the Dark Knight Returns and all that stuff. It's pretty cool, man. It's a cool book. But anyway,
that was
the
pretty-
Joker
that
does
was pretty
complete Batman and vice versa. So. And did you guys hear that apparently Mel Gibson's gonna direct
Yes.
the Suicide Squad 2 now?
I don't think it's they have announced it. It's just a rumor.
But they're in
I
the
think
talks about-
it's
they're
in the
in talks
talks
for
about
it.
it.
I mean, it's definitely a step up,
You think so?
director-wise.
Who was the director of the first one?
The guy who did a terrible job.
But like, what else?
don't
has he
Well,
done?
my
I can
point,
find
my,
out.
my point is what if they don't go with a new director, one of the new guys,
Like somebody younger, you mean?
Yeah, somebody younger. You understand? That's why Marvel has having some success because he have grabbed a couple younger, directors and
I don't know, man.
doing it, and they grew up on those comic books, and some of them they're kind of fan. And my point is that
But
if you get somebody like that,
well, I mean, but then you're talking about whoever writes a script. Like the person that writes a script is going to be the one that's going to direct this. Like that's going to establish the story. Now, director-wise, I mean, he's the one that's going to show his vision of the story, based on what he's read on the script. So, director-wise, I think that's a good choice. I mean, he's made some great movies.
yeah.
So, I think it all comes down to the script.
Yeah, that's
you know,
true.
So, you know what I mean? So I think
Because Suicide Squad
that's
kind of
different.
suck.
Yeah,
It was.
I wasn't.
I
There's a
like
big debate in the
I
internet
wasn't
that a
crazy
lot of
about it.
people like. Some people like it. Suicide Squad. I'm like.
I liked
didn't
I liked some things about it, but I didn't like the movie as a whole. I thought it was very choppy. You know, what I mean, obviously this is very this came out in the summer, so it's months after it's come out. But I mean, people are still talking about it. I thought the editing was kind of bad, like it was very chopped up. The pacing was weird.
I think there was definitely some funny things, like some things that were like retarded about it. Like,
But that's what I'm saying is I think it was unintentionally weird. I
Like,
don't know.
what was it when Batman caught what's his name?
So who do you?
Deadshot?
Yeah, when Batman caught Deadshot, he like something about like I don't want to do this in front of your kid. Like, well, then you could have done it any other
Oh,
time.
look,
or
it
something
went to
like that.
decision. So we're waiting. Who's gonna win the fight? Oh, it went to the other guy.
That was a good fight.
Yeah, it was a good fight.
And then the obviously the other thing that's come up DC wise is Ben Affleck dropped out of being director and now supposedly he doesn't want to be Batman anymore either. So
Yeah.
did you heard about that?
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I think I don't think he even wants to be Batman anymore.
That's what I'm
No?
saying. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Is like he dropped out of being director, and then supposedly now he doesn't want to be Batman anymore. Also,
But
like
the,
I guess
the
I think
issue is that he's on contract.
Right,
Yeah.
he's bound to do at least the Batman, which is the next Batman movie. Beyond that, I don't know how he could get out of his contract or not.
Yeah.
But supposedly he doesn't want to be Batman anymore.
Oh wow.
I mean, I just
he
think a
couldn't
lot
do
of it.
that a little earlier.
I just think a lot of it has to do with the fact that the movies have been shit or not as good as they expected. Because there are people that like you said, you liked Suicide Squad, and
thought it was
I didn't dislike Batman v Superman, but
if Ben Affleck does that, it would throw to the fucking shithole the fucking Justice League movie.
right.
Because now they have to recast on the fucking Batman. What the fuck do you do with that hole? Because we're building this universe.
He's gonna turn into Spider-Man. Spider-Man's had like 3 different actors.
Yeah, but they've been completely different universes. It hasn't been the same. I mean, they're trying to make something that's more concise, I guess, or more or connected.
Yeah.
So if they it's different like when they recasted War Machine per se.
Yeah.
Okay, because he wasn't like one of the main characters. You know what I mean?
I like that first. I forget what his name was, but he's
Howard.
a really good actor. That was the first.
I forgot his first name. Howard is his last name.
I mean, they're both really great actors, but I really like them.
But again, it's a little different when you recast somebody who's not maybe in a main role. He's kind of a secondary character versus Batman. I mean, he's he's one of the founding members of the Justice League. You freaking go and recast him in the middle of all this shit, then it kind of throws a wrench in everything. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they should get Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Who's the next fight?
Let me see. It might be Johnny Hendricks.
Johnny Hendricks.
Anybody see did Ghost in the Shell already?
It's coming
no.
up. It's coming up. I don't think it hasn't come out.
I actually, sorry, I didn't read. I saw reviews on Logan. I texted you guys about it the other day. I saw the earlier reviews on Logan. Logan doesn't come out until like March 3rd, I think. And so far they've been pretty positive, man. Like a couple of guys, that reviewed it, that saw it early, said that it was really good, that it was definitely much darker tone, that there are some, there is some humor to it, but it's a much darker tone. It's rated R, so the action scenes and the violence is like way up there. Like it's very bloody and basically Wolverine taking limbs and fucking killing people.
Taking limbs.
Like literally doing what he's supposed to do with.
sense.
Yeah, literally him doing what he's supposed to do with his claws. But that it's much more character driven because you've only got a handful of characters to deal with, versus I didn't see Apocalypse, so I can't tell you, but I've heard that it was just kind of a jumbled mess. There was just too much to.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it. Did you see it?
Yes.
Was it any good?
No.
Okay. So I had read that it was too much shit going on.
It's horrible.
So where this movie is much more concise because it's more character driven, and that it's basically about Logan and Professor X. They've gone through a lot of shit. They're much older and beat up, and they're just tired of all this shit, and they kind of get dragged into this situation that they don't want to be dragged into. Like they're just that far past it. But that supposedly it's a really, really good movie. So I'm reservedly excited for it. I did see the Wolverine. I thought it was all right. Like the beginning of it was pretty good. The end kind of got a little cheesy, but I like that.
I'd really like to see. I'd really like to see a Danny Ketch Ghost Rider.
Yeah, I know you've mentioned that
Just
before.
to have and forget about. Just completely forget
about Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
But then they're gonna bring Nicolas Cage in as a cameo.
I mean,
as Johnny Blaze.
it probably would make sense to do that, but I mean, it's not really necessary either, though.
Right. So
I think that's one thing that would make that's like really cool about Ghost Rider that would make it easy in these situations where actors like come and go, because Ghost Rider is somebody that always changes anyway.
right.
Like Ghost Rider is Ghost Rider, and then there's the host of Ghost Rider.
Right, but doesn't the host of Ghost Rider, make for the story as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's like, again, there's been a couple of different Spider-Men, but each one kind of brings a little something different. Or lately there's been different Batmen too. So like Dick Grayson was Batman for a little while.
Right.
And what was this guy? The guy that became
The
Azrael.
detective?
No, the dude that became Azrael.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking
I
about.
forgot his name, but he was Batman for a while after Batman had gotten his back broken or whatever. So, the character changes. Whoever he is.
Gordon, whatever.
Right, he was like in an armor, like in a weird armor.
I think they have an animated movie for when Dick Grayson was Batman.
Do they?
Yeah.
Animated wise, I saw the trailer for Justice League Dark. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
That looks pretty cool.
I was talking to that to David a long time ago, and they wanna do an actual movie.
Justice League Dark movie?
like that, because
That would be cool, I think.
So-
If they do it right.
if they do it right.
So I was reading that they're taking out a bunch of the VR displays in like Best Buys.
Why?
I guess it's not doing well.
Really?
Yeah, like they can't like
The
they
Samsung?
can't.
Is it?
I think it was the Rift. I think it was the Facebook one. Is it Rift?
The Oculus Rift?
Yeah.
Is it Facebook?
Yeah,
thought it was-
Facebook bought them.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure Facebook bought them. Let's look it up.
Well, I mean, I think you said you tried it, right? And
Yeah.
David was saying how amazing it was.
No, but he tried not the Oculus Rift. He tried the Valve.
Okay.
Which one that was?
Did you try the Samsung one?
Yeah, try the Samsung.
How is it?
Of course, this is the first stages, but it's pretty good.
Right.
It's like it
I
has
think
themes.
I think maybe it has to do like it's like you said, since it's the first stages, it's expensive.
It is.
Yeah, it's Facebook.
Some of them are expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive. So I mean, it's like any new technology. It's gonna be early adopters.
How much does it cost?
$400, $500.
I don't know.
That's less than a console. That's the
No,
same as a console.
not less than a console. A console's $300.
Well, now, yeah, but like when the consoles first come out, like I mean, remember when fucking PS3 first came out? What was it, like $600?
No.
Yeah.
PS3? I would think it was at most 500.
No, I think
No,
it
but
was
the thing
around
about
that
PS3
price.
is that it was also Blu-ray, so
Look at
that was a
Did
big
you,
part
Have you
of
guys seen
why
that?
it
Look
was
at
so
that.
expensive.
The trailer for Kong.
Yeah.
No,
It looks pretty cool, actually. It's basically Kong fighting a bunch of beasts. It looks fucking cool.
Isn't that that he's supposed to be?
And supposedly they're gonna show the new trailer for Godzilla along with Kong.
Oh really?
Yeah.
and then they fight.
So what do you guys think of the Nintendo Switch? It's coming out like
I
in a
like
month.
it.
Actually, less
I
than a month.
want
Looks
it.
interesting.
I want it.
It looks pretty cool.
I saw a whole like 15 minutes of gameplay of Zelda,
Yeah.
and I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
Even though I don't like open worlds,
I'm not too crazy about open world stuff either.
about open world games, but fucking
I feel like it's so
look-
time consuming.
Oh hell yeah! If you get into that, you're like, vroom.
Yeah.
That's it. Your life is
Fucking
over for at least couple months. Yes, but I'm saying it looks so badass, and you could do so much shit. And
Right.
Zelda, what the hell is Link that you fucking doing? It's like
Right.
Link is doing all these things.
I think the concept is definitely cool.
Yeah, no, it looks beautiful. Well, for what I see, of course, because the whoever puts the 15 minutes gameplay, they're gonna put the best stuff
Right.
out of it for people to see
I
it.
just hope that they start to get more third-party developers in, because
Yeah.
most like Nintendo consoles tend to be like Nintendo making games for it, and then you end up with the same games.
Yeah.
Mario, Kirby, fucking Yoshi, Zelda, Smash Brothers. It's all the same franchises.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't get a whole lot of variety out of them. So I'm hoping that maybe with this one, since it seems pretty, like I think it looks pretty promising, that that more third parties will come out with more unique games for it. Because like right now you can kind of buy an Xbox or an Xbox or a PS4 and kind of more or less get the same games. Obviously they have some unique games to the consoles, but for the most part you can buy Call of Duty on both. You can buy fucking whatever similar games for the most part. But Nintendo has like their own franchises that
And
are
box you
tend
in
to be more
only those
unique.
games.
Yeah, they tend to be more unique to their own consoles, but
Yeah,
they
yeah.
don't have the third party support.
All right, so we're in an hour and 20 minutes.
So
Pretty
alright,
much.
So maybe
So
anything else?
that's pretty much good. I think so.
Yeah,
You guys are
man.
good. You're good.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
if you
fine.
guys, if anybody, what I was gonna say is like if anybody does watch this and gets through to the, I mean even if you don't get through to the end, maybe if you want to make some comments or whatever, maybe mention some things that you'd like us for us to talk about or topics and things that come up and shit. I mean whatever, we kind of
Yeah, we'll take suggestions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We kind of do things on the fly. It's just whatever comes to mind when we're sitting here.
Of course.
Having some drinks and watching TV and shit. So
Yeah. I just want to say, you have something else to say before I close it?
Nah.
Nothing?
Just, no. I think
Nothing?
Jose pretty much covered it.
All right. For everyone who's watching and listening this, thank you very much. Please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it very much. And if you like it, please put a like on it. Follow us I'm gonna put it's already there, the Instagram and the Twitter account that I have on it. And if any of you guys want me to put your stuff on it, I will put it. If you want a fan base or anything like that. But thank you. And this is our second podcast, and we're gonna try to keep it moving a little more often. And that's it.
Cool.
beans.
Alright.
Peace out.
Bye.